Hey everybody, Jeff Reinhart here with you once again. Welcome in. LL League News, LL League Football, Talking Points. Week 8 done. Week 9 straight ahead. Not the greatest schedule in Week 9 of all time. There's no big monster first place games. Week 9 will be more about playoff positioning, staying in races, and a couple of teams trying to clinch ties for section titles. So that's kind of the gist of my 5 talking points this week. I'm kind of all over the chart. Hang with me. If you haven't noticed, it's a very busy time in the LL League right now. So everybody and anyone is in playoffs right now, leagues, district, states. So there's a ton going on. I'm trying to keep up with everything while doing the usual football package stuff. So, okay, talking points, LL League football. Here we go. Ready? Number 1. Kind of go through the sections. Talking point 1 will be the Section 1 race. Wilson, large and in charge, beat Manheim Township on Friday, 19-6. Yet another good defensive effort for the Bulldogs. Held Manheim Township to less than 50 rushing yards. Didn't get the official stat yet, but it was under 50. So Wilson was good, and winning streak goes up to 27 in a row in Section 1, which is getting up there. That's kind of mind-boggling. If you look around the page here, looks like the record for the longest winning section streak in LL history is 52 by Manheim Central from 1999 to 2006. Those guys did not lose a Section 2 game. Wow. So Wilson's at 27. They'll go for 28 this week. 2 games left for Wilson. Penn Manor, which is tricky and has a shot here. The Comets have been pesky. They have one of the best defenses in the league. They're a big plus in turnover margin, something like plus 12, 18 or 19 takeaways. So I know Penn Manor hasn't had much success with Wilson here in recent history, but we'll see if the Comets can throw a monkey wrench in here on Friday. And then Wilson finishes up with Warwick in Week 10. So looks like Wilson can clinch at least a tie here if it can get past Penn Manor. We'll see how Township finishes up. They get McCaskey on Friday. See if they can bounce back, and McCaskey's playing well. See if Wilson can make it 28 in a row. Holy. Talking point number 2. Let's go to Section 2. Lampeter Strasburg, good win over Solanco, 35-0 in the Milk Jug game. So looks like LS has put the garden spot stuff in the rearview mirror and has moved on. Figured they'd play with some chips on their shoulder a bit to prove that game was not fluky there at the end. And they shut out a pretty tough Solanco team that had been playing well and was 3-1 in the section, don't forget. So shut down the running game, shut out Solanco, 35-0 LS. They're going for 2 section titles in a row here. They'll get Elizabethtown, which is 0-8. Gave Manheim Central a bit of a game here last week, 21-14. 2 defensive touchdowns for the Bears. Their offense didn't do much. I think 6 first downs. So Central took care of business, but got out of Dodge in the end, 21-14. Then LS finishes up with the wagon wheel game, the Lampeter, West Lampeter, East Lampeter game against Conestoga Valley in Week 10. Don't forget, LS was 9-0 going into that game last year, and CV knocked them off. Cost them the 1 seed in districts as well. So we'll see if LS can finish the job here. 2 weeks to go in Section 2. E-Town and CV. Pioneers going for back-to-back Section 2 titles in their first 2 years up. How do you do? Okay, talking point number 3, Section 3, Lancaster Catholic in charge. They took Columbia out behind the woodshed on Friday, 70-28. It was 63-zip at half. Columbia scored 28 in the second half on a running clock, which is kind of impressive because that clock doesn't stop. And it goes fast. So for Columbia to get 4 touchdowns there in the second half on a running clock was kind of impressive, I thought. The score looked terrible, but 70-28. So Catholic Section 3 win streak, I want to say, is up to 24 now. They haven't lost in the section since 2007. And they'll get a couple of Lebanon County teams here down the stretch. Anvil-Cleona, which is 0-5 in the section, and Elko, which is coming off some wins here. And they beat Pequay Valley and then got a win over Anvil last week. So Elko's playing a little better here down the stretch. So we'll see if Catholic can make it 7 section titles in a row. I think there was a shared title in there somewhere with LS. But Catholic will look for number 7 on the way out the door to Section 1. Talking point number 4, quick District 3 update. Here's how it looks. Single A, Columbia still number 1. Tide has 5 wins. They're all but a lock in, playing for a semifinal home game, which would be really cool for those guys. Keep an eye on Millersburg. They're gaining. I think they have 4 wins, or they might be up to 5 wins. Millersburg is a single A kind of power around here. The LL folks usually don't hear about them, but they've been in the finals and they've won this thing. So Millersburg is kind of gaining on the Tide. We'll see if Columbia can fend them off here and get the 1 seed. 1 or a 2 will get them a home game. I think they'd like the 1 for sure. That's single A. Double A. Lancaster Catholic in at number 1. That's the most interesting of all 4 classifications, because there's 3 undefeated teams that are also in there. Wyomissing is in there, and Bermudian Springs is in there, and Catholic. They're all 8-0. So I think if Catholic kind of runs the table here and gets to 10-0, it'll get the 1 seed in a home game. But keep an eye on Bermudian Springs and Wyomissing. And you know Catholic wants another shot at Wyomissing. Well, we'll save that conversation for a couple of weeks out. Pequea Valley's on the list. Braves are 10th. They need to get to 8 to get in, so they're going to need 2 wins. PV's lost 4 in a row here after that great 3-1 start. We'll see if they can get 2 wins and maybe get a shot here. But Catholic's in charge for now at number 1. AAA, LS is number 2, just behind Bishop McDevitt by like nano points. I have no idea what the formula is to figure out these district rankings. I see them come out and there's a whole bunch of numbers and percentages and abbreviations. I have no idea. Thank you to the people who do it every week. But Bishop McDevitt sits atop AAA by this much over LS. So if the Pioneers can win out, they should be at least the 2 seed. Keep an eye on that. Garden Spot's at 8. That would get the Spartans a home game. Manheim Central's 9, which means a road game, but Garden Spot plays Manheim Central in week 10, so that's going to change one way or the other. A couple of bubble teams from the LL. Donegal is number 17. Solanco is number 18. So both of those guys need wins and help to get in. But it looks like LS, Garden Spot, and Central are safe. Quad A, several LL teams here in the mix. Wilson's number 5. Manheim Township is number 9, which would mean a road game, but they would avoid Wilson here, unlike last year. And then we got 3 LL teams right on the bubble line. Penn Manor's 14, Hempfield's 15, Conestoga Valley is 16. And they all have tough games left. Penn Manor, of course, has Wilson this week. CV's got to play LS. Hempfield, by the way, is 3-5. They're the only team right now in quad that's under 500, but would be in. So keep an eye on that. Hempfield's got Township in week 10, their big rivalry game. Districts. Oh my, it'll be here before you know it. Okay, talking point number 5, just a couple of quick stat things. I thought this was interesting. Roman Clay and Brandon Hollister from Lancaster Catholic are looking to become the first LL League duo to rush for 1,000 yards each in back-to-back seasons. Thought that was interesting. Clay should hit it this week. He's at 954, I want to say. And Hollister is approaching 800. So he's got 2 weeks to get 200, and that's probably going to happen. And of course, Catholic's going to have a district game. So looks like both those guys are going to hit 1,000 for the 2nd year in a row. There's been several LL tandems that have hit 1,000, same backfield, but never 2 years in a row. So I thought that was a funky stat for your week. Hollister and Clay, back-to-back seasons, 1,000 yards each. We'll keep an eye on that and see if it happens. I'm guessing yes. Okay, those are your 5 talking points. Plenty more coming this week, video previews. I think the stats are done. I'm hoping to have them up Monday night. Player of the week will be Mr. Gamble at Hempfield. Going to talk to him Monday afternoon over before practice. And the usual stuff and tons of other LL League stuff. It's playoff time. So keep an eye on the page for all that stuff, results and previews and venues and matchups and all that good stuff. So again, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it very much. And I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.